Hey everyone, it seems like whenever we talk about mental health, the big word loneliness pops up. And for good reason, right? It's not fun. But here's something you may not realize. Loneliness, while bad, isn't the worst thing out there. Today, we're talking about social isolation, its sneaky differences from loneliness, and why it can be even rougher on your well-being. Let's get to it. Let me be clear. Loneliness in and of itself is a big deal. It's your body's way of telling you something is off and it deserves attention. But what I want to spotlight is that sometimes, even if we address those feelings of loneliness, there's still this underlying lack of connection, that social isolation at work. And it deserves just as much of our focus because it can have serious consequences. The difference, loneliness versus isolation. Let's break it down real simple. Loneliness, that's a feeling. It's your mind and heart sending up an SOS. I need meaningful connections with people. The quality of your relationships is off, even if you have folks around sometimes. Think of it like being hungry even when there's food in front of you. It's just not the right kind of nourishment. Social isolation. Now, this is about lacking a social network altogether. It's the simple fact of being physically alone a lot of the time. Maybe you live far from loved ones, work from home, or just find it hard to get out there. You might not even feel lonely all the time, but your brain is still missing that essential human interaction. Here's where things get tricky. You can be lonely without being isolated. Think of being in a crowd but feeling disconnected. Kind of like that saying, alone in a crowded room. That's that sensation. And you can also be isolated without necessarily feeling lonely. Like if you're an introvert who genuinely enjoys alone time. But why are we splitting hairs here? Because long-term social isolation, even if you don't mind it all the time, still messes with your mental and physical health in a big way. Why isolation is a really big deal. Picture this. You always eat balanced meals, exercise, get enough sleep, drink plenty of water, but live in a sensory deprivation tank for weeks on end. Think you'd start feeling a little bit off? It's the same with social isolation. Research is seriously showing that social isolation is just as harmful as smoking, high blood pressure, or obesity. We're programmed for connection. We're social creatures. It's how we survived as a species, sharing resources, knowledge, and emotional support. Here's the worrying part. When you're socially isolated, your brain starts going a little haywire. It throws you into a constant state of low-level stress. We're talking heart under attack. Your risk of heart disease and stroke shoots up. It's like your body's constantly prepping for a fight that's never going to happen. Mental meltdown, depression, and anxiety creep in because our brains aren't getting that feel-good dose of belonging and positive social interaction. Foggy future. Long-term isolation can even put you at higher risk for serious cognitive decline like dementia. Our brains need stimulation from others to stay sharp. The bottom line, social connection isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's like taking a daily vitamin for your whole well-being, both now and way down the road. Okay, so how do I fix this? Is the question you might be asking. Well, if you're feeling lonely or isolated, take a deep breath. You're not alone in this, ironically enough. And there are ways to turn things around. So listen up. Here's how to break free and build stronger, meaningful connections. Baby steps are still steps. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is your social circle. Start small and be kind and patient with yourself. Smile at a stranger. Strike up a conversation in line at the coffee shop that you frequent. Join an online community about something that you genuinely enjoy. Each little interaction is a victory. Find your people. Being around folks who get you is everything. Think about what makes you, well, you. Passionate about rescue dogs, obsessed with historical costuming, there's literally a group for everything. That's the beauty of the internet. These are places where you'll find built-in common ground and the potential for real, true friendships. Check the good parts. Social media gets a bad rap, and often for good reason. But it can also be a bridge. Find online groups around your interests, maybe even people in your local area. Get out there, put yourself out there. Remember, the goal is to use online connection as a jumping off point for those real life in-person meetups. Give back, get back. Volunteering is a seriously underrated social booster. Helping others not only feels good, but it puts you in natural situations for meeting like-minded people. Win-win. It's a process, not perfection. Look, some days will be easier than others. It's okay to feel awkward. Everyone does when building new social muscles. Focus on the long game and celebrate even those little wins along the way. Okay, so you have some strategies, but maybe the thought of striking up conversations still makes you break out in a cold sweat. That's where communities like ours at Explearning Academy come in. We're a professional development platform focused on helping you level up your communication skills and social fluency. Because let's face it, better communication means better work outcomes, stronger relationships, and just feeling more confident and comfortable in your own skin. One thing that makes us different is our small group coaching and live feedback sessions. Think of it as targeted practice for building social skills, navigating difficult conversations, and becoming more engaging as a communicator in all areas of your life, both professional and personal. So you can check out the details on our website at academy.explearning.co, and I'll link it below so you can check it out right there. A note on tough times. Let's be real. Sometimes building social connections is messy. You might have old social anxieties flaring up, bad experiences making trust difficult, or just feel a little bit lost. Know this, those feelings are absolutely valid and very common. If you're finding it extra challenging to connect, don't give yourself a hard time about it. Instead, be proud for recognizing you need a little bit more support in this area. This in itself is a huge sign of strength. Here's where to turn. Your inner circle. Is there a friend or family member that you trust? Sometimes just being honest about how you're feeling, saying something like, hey, I've been isolating myself and I want to change that, can make a world of difference. Professional help. Therapists are trained in helping people work through social anxieties and address any underlying issues that might be making connection difficult. Think of it as going to the gym for your emotional muscles. It takes strength. Recognizing you need a little extra help, whether from a friend or a professional, is not a weakness. It shows courage. Prioritizing your emotional health and well-being is always the right call. All right, well, that was a lot, but remember, feeling lonely is temporary. Isolation is something that we have way more control over than we think. Get out there, strike up a conversation, and build that social muscle. You got this.